So I was reading this morning while waiting on the meetings to end about the Autopilot 3 rollout. They have found some cars in Europe, or on the way to Europe on the ship, that have the hardware code HW4 for Autopilot Hardware 4.
So it's different hardware.
Yes, which would be, because they labeled, well, this car has Autopilot 2, what you have, Autopilot 2.5, as HW3. So they're speculating that that means that the announcement for Autopilot Hardware 3 is imminent.
So do they know what the parts were?
There was a wiring diagram for the Model 3 that showed a secondary radar, and then of course all the cameras hooked up, and it was labeled Hardware 3 Autopilot. Yeah,
That's cool.
that is cool. So we've already pre-ordered that because we have the full self-drive package on this car.
On this
car, yeah. And then for you guys elected to get enhanced autopilot.
That's right.
Would you consider the upgrade?
If it gave us full self-drive?
Yeah.
Probably.
All right.
But it would depend on the cost.
Oh, of course. Which was part of the reason that we bought it when we did, because they said, oh, it's $3,000 if you buy it now, and if you wait, it's going to be $5,000. But for when you ordered, it was $3,000, and if you wait, it was $4,000.
Right.
So we thought, well, how much higher can this thing go?
Yeah.
Especially as they add features.
I mean, if it's just the GPU and the CPU,
Yeah.
it can't be that bad.
Well,
Right?
no.
It's just a box.
Yeah.
A kilobox.
Exactly.
But if there's more cameras,
Well, even if they had the other radar, which they said that this thing is extensible. Oh, I was slowing down there. They said that it's extensible, so I'm wondering if we will get the second radar or if they're just going to just let it ride. Because he said you can do it all with vision only, just like a human can.
unless he was wrong.
Unless he was wrong. He said he definitely didn't need to upgrade the cameras because the current system that we have today can do 200 frames a second, but the new one can do 2,000 frames a second of processing.
And I guess it would depend on what level of self-driving we were getting. I
Right.
mean, I consider what we get now with enhanced
Yeah,
on the
pretty good.
highway to
Yeah.
be essentially self-driving.
Yes. Elon said by the end of the year, Tesla owners would be able to commute. A little blur there. Be able to commute from home to work without touching any of the controls.
It's a bold statement.
It is a bold statement.
With the existing hardware.
With the hardware 3.
Hardware
It was
3.
it was implying hardware 3. He didn't say that, but he said by the end of the year, no touch.
Like the new stuff?
The
Or
new-
what I...
What I ordered.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, we'll see.
We shall see. What I would like to see is it just turn everything on and then start unlocking the features as they work them out, and then to worry about the regulations later. So that way, there's always a body in the seats, in the driver's seat, and you don't have to worry about, oh, is it allowed in South Carolina? Is it allowed in Delaware? And it's just like, hey, I'm in the seat, I'm responsible. But yet at the same time, I can kick back and read my text messages while watching out for any edge cases. The car could beep, hey, your turn.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know, it just seems like such a big jump
Yeah.
from where we're at now.
That's how computing is. It's always exponential.
It's a big jump.
Yes.
To be able to drive you to and from work. I mean,
Yeah.
my commute's short. But
It is.
But it's complicated.
It is. Yeah. Mine's all on the freeway, but as everyone who drives in South Carolina knows, as we saw on the way to go get you for picking up your truck, a Jeep cut us off and slammed on the brakes.
Right.
And then when I beeped at him, he jumped back in the other lane. It was insane.
But making turns through red lights.
Yeah.
Left left on yellow.
Yes.
I mean, right now, it doesn't even see the red light.
It sees them.
It doesn't do anything.
It sees them and it ignores them. But then you've got roundabouts or turn circles,
Yeah.
turning circles,
I
traffic circles.
deal with those all the time.
Yeah, and they're all different.
Yeah.
It offered me to go back in the lane and decided not to.
Crossing railroad tracks.
Those railroad tracks at
It
full speed.
struggles- It struggles with
At
that
full
right
speed.
now. It struggles with that right now.
Yes, speed bumps also full speed.
Yeah.
I'll be happy when he turns on vision-based parking instead of
Oh my gosh.
just ultrasonic-based parking.
It never works. I mean, the car can't even park itself right now. How is it gonna? It can't see an empty parking spot. I just don't trust it to.
Well, it doesn't see an empty parking spot by itself, but if there's two cars on either side, mine does okay. I don't know if they haven't tuned it for the Model 3 or if you keep coming across bad parkers.
Ours is,
I get lucky.
it's useless.
It's useless?
If I see the P, it's usually when I'm
Halfway in the spot.
Like no.
I get that a lot.
I'm sitting in traffic in an
Yes.
intersection. And it
Hey, would
wants
you
to
like to
park a
parallel
car.
park next to
It
this?
doesn't even
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah. Or better than parallel park. We found a perpendicular spot right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just reverse in.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like sometimes it hints that there's more going on than it wants us to know.
Right.
And then sometimes I'm like, you're a complete idiot.
Yeah, I like the merge behavior that just showed up in the last couple updates, where if somebody's coming up, it will let them in. I think it's too aggressive. Like, it'll slow way down when I'm in the right of way. But what I do like is when I'm the merger, it does wait its turn sometimes, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. We've noticed something, I guess, along those lines with the merging, like where you do the zipper merges.
Yes.
It doesn't. If you're in the lane that's ending,
Yeah.
it does not work.
No.
It just
runs
like,
till there's no more
I'm
pain.
just gonna just go.
Yes.
And we've even noticed it going over the solid line.
Yes, especially lately on this last update. If it's a right-hander, like a right-hand exit, it will ride on the paint.
Yeah.
Even if there's a curb that far away.
Yes. And that's very disconcerting.
But the same exact turn going left, it does it like a human.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this?
So I think, stuff like that, if it can't do that now,
But
it's just
right now
12 months. Is it going to be 9 months, 10 months? Is it going to be ready? Is it going to know how to fix all that?
well, if it's got 10 times more processing power, if it's right now it's like being saturated, then maybe.
You think that's the issue? You think that it's seeing it doesn't have time to figure out what to do?
Yeah. Especially like even in Mad Max mode, you'll see it kind of waffle. Like if you turn the signal and there's room, instead of just going, it sits there for a minute, and then the jerk behind you sees the blinker and it accelerates, and then it does this bounce back thing, and they realize, oh, well, that car was going anyway, and then the car goes again, and depending on how much of a jerk they are, you might be in that cycle for a minute, or it'll just go over at that point.
We'll find out.
That we shall. It's exciting though.
I'm curious what I guess as soon as they land
Yeah.
in Europe, in Asia, somebody's going to dig in.
Definitely. But then they had, when Autopilot 1 came out, and Autopilot 2, and Autopilot 2.5 came out, each of them had less functionality than the cars that were already on the road because they were tuning everything. So I'm curious how, when these ones come out, if they will be unable to do basic cruise control, unable to do lane following, or if they have already tuned them all to match, because it's the same sensors this time, just a different processor.
Yeah.
So I would think that it should do better this time around.
You would think so. The 50-mile calibration, and then
Yeah, once it does the initial calibration, yeah.
At least get cruise control.
Yeah. I think there should be a way for them to do basic cruise and hold that in place.
Yeah.
Like maybe
I
a
think-
message warning, you're in regular cruise mode, and just keep flashing that on the screen.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that, because that was frustrating, because when we picked up our 3,
Yeah.
driving it home, it was 50 miles to calibrate, but we didn't stop for 150 miles.
Exactly.
So
no cruise, no nothing.
halfway
Cruise showed
home,
up, right? No, that didn't show up till you bought it.
no,
Yeah.
we had to park the car before
Yeah.
we could do anything.
That was fun.
That was annoying.
Yes. Well,
the
for
sensors
Oda,
have to be calibrated.
Yes.
Out of the box.
they do. For Oda, what we did was we went and we stopped at Rock Hill after his calibration had finished.
Right.
And for this car, after the calibration finished, we'd like stop to eat or something. And, oh, car. Yeah, no, I got it. Stuff like this.
Yeah, that's not ready for prime time.
So we had stopped to eat or something, and it was like 90% done with calibration, but it's like, yeah, you're good enough, you're done, you got full features. It's like, don't you want to finish? You said you were not done. What'd you do? Finish while we were parked?
I just don't understand, what is the calibration even doing?
Well, I imagine it's helping with like the sensor fusion, because you've got 8 cameras going around.
So is it the cameras?
And then you've got the sonar, and then you've got the GPS, and you've got the wheel speed sensors. So it's probably just making sure that the quirks of each unique vehicle are known to the system.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what I would expect. And then I also hope that they can do it with mobile repair, because
Do the upgrade.
yes, because it'll be a pain to make a journey to the nearest service center for that.
But, okay, well, let's go
For
back.
us in
Let's
Charleston.
go back to the full self-driving that you paid for.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Does that mean that you're guaranteed every incremental update, or are you only guaranteed the last major update?
That's a good question. If so,
Because
then
that's
I
kind
might
of
wait
a-
to hold on to get it, right?
Right, because is it a one and done? Like, you can choose this hardware level?
Well, it did imply, and Elon did say online, that on Twitter specifically, that if a computer upgrade is needed, you will get it
Right.
at no extra charge.
To the full self-drive.
Right.
But to me, it doesn't sound like, if this is just another iteration of
Oh, you
the
mean
same
like
thing.
When you went from Autopilot
That you're-
1 and 2 and
Right.
2.5, and you just, that was it. You didn't get anything further.
Yeah,
It's
like the
possible
people who
too.
bought full self-drive on the previous generation.
Yeah.
Did they get upgraded?
Oh,
to-
yes. If you had Autopilot 2 and an order full self-drive, you do get the Hardware 3 upgrade for the compute. But you don't get whatever those redundancies they claim are on my car, on the new one.
But has
So maybe
anybody,
they can't get the second radar?
So has anybody taken advantage of that upgrade?
It's not out yet. Well,
Okay.
technically it's on that ship if this report is accurate.
No. When do we find out? 2 weeks?
2
long
or
is it?
3 weeks for it to land, yeah.
All right. Let's go find out.
The car is offering to park this whole time, but I like to park right next to the curb, so I have not accepted. Yeah, see, would have parked crooked.
That is way not accurate. But it'll drive you to work next month. No, 9 months.
End of the year, yeah.
Sure.
We'll see. And with that, we will catch you guys on the flip side.